Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really diving into something special. Chinese animation, specifically Ling Cage, Incarnation Season 2.
Yeah, it's been a long wait, 6 years.
Yeah.
And the finale in August 2025 just...
Exactly. It left people stunned. The plot twists, the philosophical ideas, the visuals, just incredible.
Absolutely.
So our mission today is to unpack all of that. We want to look at the truth versus deception themes, the tough moral questions about survival, the relationships.
And we're drawing from some really comprehensive analysis here. It's not just surface level.
Definitely not.
And this deep dive feels necessary because, honestly, the show didn't just meet expectations, it smashed them.
Right. The ratings, like a 9.8 on Bilibili.
Yeah, and over 3.1 billion views for the season. That's huge.
It really is a landmark, and it feels like it connects beyond just China,
Yeah.
universal things.
Totally. It hits on things everyone can grapple with.
Okay, so let's start with probably the most jaw-dropping moment, the truth about Mark.
Oh, yeah. That laboratory scene.
In Dragonbone Village, he goes in and just finds rows and rows of clones of himself.
In all these different states, some developing, some decaying.
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
It completely shatters his reality, his identity, his purpose. Suddenly, he's just one of many experiments.
And right away, it throws these huge questions at you. Like, what is identity? What does it mean to be conscious, to be human? Because the show makes it clear, even though he's genetically identical to countless others, this Mark, our Mark, developed his own unique mind, his own feelings, especially his love for Ram Bing.
That love is so central.
It is. And the whole cloning thing, it's like this powerful metaphor, isn't it?
Yeah.
About how systems, bigger forces can try to shape and control individuals.
But it gets worse for Mark, because it's not just what he is.
It's who knew.
Exactly. The realization that Bai Yukui, this leader he trusted, this enigmatic figure, she knew all along.
It wasn't just aware, she actively manipulated him.
There's video evidence, right? Showing her team infecting him with that spine demon parasite.
Deliberately triggering his transformation, turning him into that ecological chimera, this hybrid creature.
It just flips her character completely, from potential savior to, well, something much darker, or at least more ambiguous.
Profoundly ambiguous. Her whole approach is utilitarian, right? The ends justify the means for humanity's survival against the mana ecosystem.
But the means involve this deep personal betrayal of Mark.
And it makes you ask that classic question. Do the ends justify the means? Especially when it involves manipulating someone you seem to care about, shattering their trust like that.
Yeah, it's a really tough ethical knot. So if Bayukui isn't the straightforward hero, does that change how we see the supposed villain, the Mana Prime entity?
That's one of the most fascinating things in Season 2. It makes you totally reevaluate the Mana entity.
This giant alien consciousness presented initially as just the big bad.
Right, but then you remember what it told Mark early on. Something like,
the cocoon of lies blinds you. All around is illusion. Seek and see for yourself.
Exactly. And suddenly you think, wait, was it telling the truth? Was it the one being honest in its own way?
It suggests the whole picture is way more complicated than just good guys versus bad guys.
Much more. Maybe humanity's view is skewed, shaped by fear and maybe even their own deceptions. It's a great commentary on how narratives get controlled.
And didn't the entity even offer to bring Ran Bing back?
Yeah. Even as just this disembodied head, it offers Mark the one thing he wants most in exchange for help. That really throws a wrench in the whole pure evil idea.
Okay, so Bai Yukui is playing this long game. Let's talk about her actual plan, the attack stench plan. Sounds ominous.
It is, and it shows her as this master strategist, willing to sacrifice almost anything or anyone.
Using Mark specifically.
Right, using Mark, who we now know is this unique clone with a special life essence core, as basically a key to get inside the mana ecosystem, connect with the Mana Flower King, its central intelligence.
Her philosophy is just brutal. Any individual sacrifice is worth it if it can end the ecosystem.
It's extreme utilitarianism, and she takes it all the way. Because remember that post-credit scene?
Oh yeah, where her death at Mark's hands.
Turns out to be fake. A setup. She's meeting with Master Lai, this mysterious figure who seems to see the future.
Which hints that this plan is even bigger, maybe even fated somehow.
Possibly. It opens up a whole new layer of complexity.
And part of this plan, or maybe a consequence of it, is Mark getting this 3-chain DNA.
Ah, yes. When that big-eyed monster thing merges with him.
And suddenly he can fly, heal instantly, fight like crazy.
It's like forced evolution on hyperdrive. It suggests maybe humanity has to change fundamentally even hybridize with the enemy to survive something like the mana ecosystem.
Which is a really radical idea.
Yeah.
Adapt or die, taken to the extreme.
A profound and, frankly, terrifying proposition.
Moving beyond the plot mechanics, though, the show feels really steeped in Eastern philosophy, doesn't it? It gives it a different flavor.
Absolutely. It's woven into its fabric. Even the title, Ling Cage, or Spirit Cage.
Right, referring to the body as a prison for consciousness. Bai Yukui even muses about it in her research.
Perhaps we will soon know whether the body is a prison for the soul. That line. It echoes Buddhist ideas about reincarnation, the limits of physical existence, maybe finding freedom beyond it.
Interesting.
And there's that concept of the human community of shared destiny. It's a very Chinese idea, emphasizing cooperation for survival.
You see the contrast clearly between the lighthouse's rigid hierarchy.
Which is crumbling, really.
Yeah, and the more communal, maybe more resilient life in Dragonbone Village.
It explores different models of how humanity might organize itself to face the apocalypse.
And the whole idea of balance and harmony, too, especially with the mana ecosystem itself.
That's a key difference from a lot of Western sci-fi, which often focuses on conquering or destroying the other.
Ling Cage seems to suggest coexistence, maybe?
It holds out that possibility. Mark, being a hybrid, embodies that potential. He's the bridge. It's not just about annihilation, maybe it's about finding a new equilibrium.
Even in this incredibly broken world.
Which raises the question for you, the audience, is that even possible? Or is the threat too great?
We absolutely have to talk about the visuals. Season 2 just looks phenomenal.
It's a massive leap. You can see the craft, the budget, everything went up several notches.
Over 10,000 shots, complex VFX. They use motion capture, facial capture.
And it shows. The character expressions have this incredible subtlety. You feel the emotions.
And the big set pieces. Mark's transformation, that fight in space.
Just jaw-dropping. The animation is so fluid, the lighting, the character effects. It's world-class stuff.
The art direction, too, that blend of futuristic tech with more traditional Chinese designs, especially in Dragonbone Village.
It creates such a unique aesthetic. It feels grounded, even amidst the sci-fi chaos.
And it's not just flash. The visuals tell the story, like the color palettes.
Totally. The warm golds of Dragonbone Village versus the cold, sterile blues and grays of the lighthouse. It instantly tells you about the feel of those places.
So much care went into it. Okay, characters. Mark's journey is just immense.
It really is. From lighthouse hero, commander, to finding out he's a clone, being betrayed.
Becoming this chimera.
And potentially something more, transcendent even. But through it all, his anchor is Ran Bing.
Even after she's gone, that love fuels him.
It's the core of his humanity, maybe the very thing that made him unique among the clones.
And Bai Yukui. She just becomes more and more fascinating.
Oh, absolutely. One of the most compelling characters. The manipulation, the grand plan, but also hints of genuine care.
Like sparing his life essence core during their fight.
Exactly. It's not simple. Yeah. That relationship is so layered. How do you reconcile caring for someone with being willing to sacrifice them for a perceived greater good? It's a chilling question.
And the side characters aren't just props either. People like 4068.
Becoming Shadow. Rising from being a dust citizen, the lowest of the low on the lighthouse.
To a leader in his own right.
And Fexu Charles.
Yeah.
Their personal dramas, their loyalties, they all reflect the bigger struggles.
Everyone feels essential somehow.
Yeah, their choices matter. They represent different facets of this broken society trying to survive.
So stepping back, the show is asking some really big questions. We touched on Bayuku's utilitarianism, that tension between the individual and the collective.
And it doesn't give easy answers, does it? It just lays out the different perspectives, the terrible choices, and lets you wrestle with them.
Which is great storytelling.
It is. And the theme of truth versus deception is huge, too. How narratives get built, twisted.
The fact that both Bayukui and the mana entity were hiding things, telling half-truths.
It makes you realize how hard it is to find objective truth when everyone has an agenda. Very relevant today with misinformation and all that.
Definitely. And then there's a whole evolution theme. Adapting to survive.
Biologically, like Mark, but also socially, technologically. It suggests survival isn't static, it requires change. Maybe radical change.
Liberating, but also maybe losing something essential about being human along the way.
That's the risk. That's the core dilemma the show keeps exploring.
And the world noticed. This wasn't just a domestic hit.
No, it made waves internationally. Critically acclaimed everywhere. That 9.8 Bilibili score is insane to maintain.
3.1 billion views.
And getting recognition from official bodies in China, comparisons to top-tier Western sci-fi like Black Mirror or Love, Death, and Robots.
It feels like a real statement piece for Chinese animation.
It is. It shows they can compete on a global stage, telling complex stories that blend unique cultural and philosophical elements with themes that resonate everywhere. It's a fantastic cultural export.
So inevitably, Season 3, the cliffhangers were intense.
The anticipation is crazy high, right? Announced for 2026, I think.
Yeah. What are the big threads we expect them to pick up?
Well, definitely Mark's relationship with the Mana Prime entity. Is it an alliance, continued conflict, something else?
By Yu Kui's master plan, now involving Master Lai. What's the endgame there?
And that hint about higher dimensional beings possibly pulling the strings, that could blow the whole scope wide open.
Feels like the story could get even bigger.
It really does. And it also shows the industry maturing, thinking long-term, planning spin-offs like The Legend of Yu Kui, building a whole universe.
So, wrapping up, Ling Cage Season 2. It's just a triumph, isn't it? Visually stunning, narratively ambitious, philosophically deep.
Absolutely. From Mark finding out he's a clone, to Bai Yu Kui's complex, maybe ruthless strategy, to questioning the very nature of the enemy. It's just dense, sophisticated stuff.
It really sticks with you.
And it leaves us with this huge question, really. The show seems to suggest survival might mean coexistence, integration, transformation, not just winning a war against the mana ecosystem.
So the question for you, listening, is maybe, what is the right balance? How much should humanity change, adapt, maybe even sacrifice its essence to survive an existential threat?
Where's that line?
Yeah, a lot to chew on there. We hope this deep dive gave you some good insights into Ling Cage and maybe made you want to explore it even more.
Hope so.
Until next time, keep exploring.